my setup process is, what I kind of look for when I take pictures. We've got the location, so I'm just getting set up right now. Got all my equipment. I think I got everything set up on this side of it. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay, but we've got this location right now, right here. So hopefully it'll come in pretty good. Usually set it up, let me see. That view actually looks pretty good right there. I'm gonna move everything else behind it, but we'll go ahead and go over the camera equipment right now. So this is my camera right here. I use a Nikon Z5 mirrorless. Just stepped up to this one. So just went with a Z5 because I really wanted to go to a full frame. I was using pretty much an entry-level DSLR before from Nikon. Was using a D3500. Pretty much have the same type of glass. I'm using all the F-mount, if I'm correct. So I've got a 70-300 telephoto. I do have a 35mm fixed, 1.8, and then a 50mm 1.8. So these two I kind of interchange. I'll probably end up getting rid of maybe one of these and picking up another Z mount eventually, but right now I am using the F to Z mount and my 18 to, is it a 105 millimeter, and this is vibration reduction, so I use this a lot with rollers or really anything I'm doing, any type of low light in, just because it's got the vibration reduction motors put on it, so it does a really good job of that as well. And then additionally, I do have a polarizer. Want to say this is definitely a recommended thing for anybody who's doing any type of photography where you're going to have any type of glass, any water, anything that's going to be kind of reflective. It's going to act kind of like your sunglasses a little bit, you know, in the sense that it's going to take the photo and it's going to remove, you know, any of those unwanted glare on windows, on anything kind of reflective. So as you can see kind of right there, if I had a CPL filter on it, I could change it, and we'll show you some examples of that too as we get the lens set up as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and probably get set up to start shooting right now, and then we'll go ahead and get to it. So what I do is I get set up. So like I said, I got on auto bracketing, so I just throw it right on the middle. Try to keep it about as steady as I can, and then just take 3 shots. So what that'll do is it'll auto expose one. It'll take one kind of measure up or exposure up, and then it'll actually do the same down as well. So what I do is I take that into Lightroom, and I'll create a HDR photo. So what that does is it gives me all this light to play with, especially so I can get a crisp, you know, picture of the actual car like you're seeing right here. And then you can see that I can actually paint in or bring in a lot of the sky right here. So you can bring in a lot of these different details that you normally wouldn't get with like a normal picture, let's say, per se. So with this, it's going to be a little bit better for you. I like using it, you know, just because it does give me a little bit more to play with, especially when I get into post. And then what I like to do too, especially is, you know, for Instagram, because it likes, you know, vertical photos. So I do like to take vertical photos. So one thing to remember if you're taking vertical photos is you do have to readjust your CPL filter. So I'll take this right here. There we go. 3 photos, and I really don't have to worry about if they're not lined up perfectly, because when I put them into post through Lightroom, what it'll actually do is take the photos and it'll you know, realign them automatically, so it's not like I really have to do a ton there. Set up, I'm going to probably break out the 35mm just because I want to take some pictures with a lot of the bokeh effect on the background. So I'm just going to go ahead and remove this lens, turn it on. So we got our auto bracketing back on. I do like this lens because it does have some good tracking on it as well. So I probably will use it for some video here. What I'll probably end up doing too is moving myself over here eventually, just so I can go ahead and get a better shot. But let's go ahead and take some shots real quick right here. So what I'm going to do is re-bracket it. So 4, 1, 2, 3, perfect. Same thing, I want to do it from the side. So readjust that CPL filter on there. Make sure you got the right bracketing, and boom. 1, 2, and 3, perfect. Get a little bit closer for these next shots. Let's see. Probably about right there, looks about good. Adjust that CPL filter again. And boom, boom, boom. Got it. Let's go. I want to get a wheel shot because I haven't got one of those in a while. So I'm going to set this up right here. Let's get the wheel with a little bit of front end. Cardinal rule, which I'm breaking right now, you usually want the logo to be facing up. So shame on me for not doing it. Just adjusting my CPL, adjusting my exposure, turn right on, and boom, 3 shots. Perfect. So let's go ahead. I'm gonna move the car real quick, and then we're gonna go ahead and get set up in another location. View of this sunset. So I'm gonna try some back 3/4 shots from here. The one thing I have to worry about is you do have these lights, so those can, you know, fuck up your picture, or mess up your picture, excuse me. And 1, 2, 3. So one thing to point out is I do see, I don't know if you guys can see that, there is that light post that is sitting right in the way. So that is just something to be aware of. I'll have to remove that in post. Let me take one just from here. Flip the screen out so you guys can hopefully get a better view. Okay, reset my exposure. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. All right, so let's go. I'm gonna go ahead and switch out my lens to, where the hell did I put my lens cap? There it is. I'm gonna go ahead and switch out my lens to my telephoto. Go ahead and get zoomed in. Some photos set up. And more. I actually might bump my ISO just a bit. Maybe to about 500, just to get my shutter speed just up just a tiny bit. So let's see if this does a little bit better. There we go. I'm just trying to get it where I'm not moving the camera so much, so I don't have to worry about, you know, in post, having to worry about, you know, getting it back into frame or anything like that, or, you know, have my computer work too hard to go ahead and do it. So I just moved it again. Another rule of thumb for you guys is going to be, if you're setting up and you're shooting in one direction, just make sure you're looking in the other direction as well. So I don't know if it's actually called the 180 rule, but, you know, if you're photographing a sunset or anything like that, I would suggest just looking behind you, just because you can actually get an even better sunset sometimes on that side of it. And my wife's calling me. So I think we're probably about done for today. Sunset's still looking pretty good, but yeah, I really can't get any good angles of it right now, even though it is a pretty sunset. So I may take just a couple of, raw photos or something like that of the actual sunset, not with the actual car. But we'll go ahead and get packed up right now, go back to my house, my office, and we'll get this set up for some post-production work.